Hello guys, Bobby Drives here. So today I'm in my 640 diesel BMW M Sport and I'm going back to the garage, CPC Performance. I went there about a month ago and they did a few bits of my car, like my rear camera. It said failure even though my cameras worked, so they fixed that for me. My windows kept on going down every time I'd push them up, so they fixed that for me. And there was a few other bits and bobs I need to get done, and I said I'll come back when they're free, such as my passenger seat. It keeps going back and forth. If someone's sitting behind a passenger, it will literally crush their legs, so that's really important. Got to get that fixed. Click up here if you want to actually watch that review. It will tell you about the issues that I've had with the 6 Series since I bought it. It's not major, it's nothing mechanical. Well, actually I'll take that back. Since I've done that review on the first issues on the car, when I'm on the motorway and I put my foot down, this car does come up with, well, it says drivetrain moderate, so basically goes into limp mode. It doesn't let me put my foot down, but funny enough, it only lasts for like 10 seconds. Oh, by the way guys, sorry, I forgot my mic at home today, so I hope you can hear me okay. But yeah, let's say I'm on a motorway, I put my foot down, 8 out of 10 times it's fine, but there'll be those 2 times where I go to put my foot down and it just goes into limp mode and it says drivetrain issue, drive moderately until you get to a garage. Now that could be something major, like a turbo failing, or it could be the vacuum tubes just letting a little bit of air out where, you know, it's not getting that pull where it should be. It could even be a little sensor, like a 15-20 pound sensor. So that's something which is new, which is developed over the last couple of months for me owning this car. So yeah, I'm going to go back to CPC Performance in Amersham, get them to check out the drivetrain issue, still sort out the passenger seat, and that's it really guys. They're my last 2 bits on the car. Otherwise the car has been absolutely sweet. It's been great on fuel, great on power, looks good, and it's just been all rounder. It's just these little few bits and bobs I want to get fixed, because to me this is a new car even though it's second hand, and I want it to be pristine like my E92 was. So yeah, on the way to the garage to get these fixed. Oh, and also this driver's seat, for some reason it's come up saying driver restraint system, so it might be that my airbag's not working. I'm going to get Phil at CPC to look at that as well. So yeah, 3 things guys: the drivetrain, passenger seat going back and forth, as well as my side saying driver restraint system. It's just annoying. Every time you get in the car in the morning you hear that gong to show, well, to tell you that there's an issue with the car, and I just don't want that. So yeah, 3 things are going to get fixed. I'm going to go there. If it's something that I can do or they can do in a day, I'll try and document it. If I need to leave my car overnight or a couple of days, then I will resume this video and we'll pick it up from there. And here we are, 6 days later guys. So I wasn't able to film the car because it wasn't just a day's job. My car's been in for 6 days and I love it. It's actually how I wanted it to be. So just going through the lists or the works that we've done, I'll tell you how much I spent at the end of this. But starting with the passenger seat. So as you know guys, my passenger seat, if anyone sits in it and if anyone sits behind them, it will just literally crush them. Like the passenger seat will just go back, and it's electronic, so you can't really stop it. So for me that was quite a major thing I wanted to get fixed sooner than later. So the mechanic looked at it, he said it might be a faulty switch on the left hand side. It wasn't that. He ended up taking out the passenger seat, took the ECU out from the driver's seat and put it into the passenger seat, and it worked. So we felt there's something not too right here, and we can't just blame it to the switch not working. So he actually undid the wiring loom, and we actually found one wire which had been like chafed away. It's kind of like been rubbed out, where the wire was actually bare. And that wire is, you could say, the mother wire of all those wires. And that was causing the issue of the seat to go back and forward. So my mechanic is just excellent. This is Phil at CPC. He ended up doing a new wiring connection just on that part, and the rest is history. The seat now works. I can't believe guys, I thought it was going to be something where, you know, I have to get a new control panel on the side, a new switch, maybe a new ECU. It ended up being a wire which was just, you know, slightly eroded away, and he had to just do a new wire. So thankfully my passenger seat is now fixed. The other issue I had, which was on the driver's side, same thing, well not with the seat, but every time I'd sit in the driver's side and I start my car up, I'd have an error code coming up on my dashboard saying something about an airbag not working, please drive safely. And again, I wanted to make sure my airbag is working. The mechanic undid my seat, checked the wiring loom, and guess what? My lumbar support doesn't work on the driver's seat, but there was a spring which became undone, and that was rubbing against another wire. He took pictures and he showed me all of it, and that wire was really exposed. So he actually ended up doing me new wiring, well, just a single wire in fact. He replaced it, touched it all up, and it's now gone. Like, you know, I thought maybe after a few days the error might come up. The error hasn't come up, so that's one good thing, or two good things I'm happy about. Passenger seat is fixed, driver's seat is fixed. Both of them I'll put it down to just poor wiring, where, you know, the insulation's been rubbed away or chafed away, and we had to just do some new wiring. So the two seats are fixed. With my windows going up and down, believe it or not, that was the cheapest fix. The windows just needed lubricating. It's because the rubbers on the side are so stiff, they actually, well, you know, pinch on the window, and that was causing the BMW to think, oh, someone's hands in the window, so, you know, let's put the window down. So they've greased it up, and my windows work absolutely fine, so I'm so happy about that. One other major thing is about my turbo. So this is twin turbo, but sometimes when I should put my foot down, it just wouldn't go as quick as, say, as my 330, my E92. It was like quite a noticeable delay, and I just felt that's not right. And I was thinking, don't tell me that, you know, I have to get a new turbo, it's going to be something major like that, because that's going to be an expensive job. The mechanic took it in, and his gut instinct was right. He said to me, Bobby, I think the vacuum tubes leading to your turbo are probably blocked. He checked both, and the left hand side was completely blocked. He replaced it, and believe it or not, guys, that part is only £12.95. He replaced my tube, and honestly, guys, my car is completely different. I actually feel that my car's been remapped. Obviously it hasn't, but it's made such a noticeable difference. And I did say, you know, this felt as quick as my 330 diesel E92, and it shouldn't. It should feel a lot faster. Now he's replaced that vacuum tube. Honestly, this car feels a lot faster than my 330 diesel, and it actually feels like a 640 should do. So think about it, guys. A £12.95 vacuum tube was probably hindering my power by, say, 40%, and now he's replaced it, and I don't get any delays. I actually did have some issues coming up saying, oh, drivetrain issue, drive moderately. That's not come up. I've been pushing it on a motorway, opening it up, and it's gone. So I'm so happy that what I felt was going to be the most expensive issue, the turbo, was only a £12.95 job. Well, that's just a part. I'm not talking about labour yet. I'll get into that in a second. So my engine is sweet, full on power. It's not remapped, but it feels like it. Both seats are fixed. My windows are also fixed. What else did I have? Oh, bad news is, guys, my front left light will probably need replacing. He opened it up. He checked the component, which actually, and don't forget, these are LED adaptive headlights. So they're a lot more expensive, especially when things go wrong. They're not the normal xenon lights that you'd get in any other BMW. So he opened it up, and he said, look, more than likely, if I replace the parts, it's going to cost you so much that you might buy a new headlight. And guess how much it is, guys, for a new headlight? Just one. £2,500. And I said, forget that for now. I'm going to try and look at some other ways of doing this, if I can try and find a second-hand one or something else, because there's no way that I'm paying £2,500 for just one headlight. One headlight. It's mad. So that's the only downside from this whole time my car being away, that all my other issues have been fixed, but he cannot fix my front left light. And I'm going to now look on eBay or other places where I can try and get a second-hand one from. But other than that, guys, just recapping, my two seats, my turbo, the rear parking camera. Oh, when I put my car into reverse, even though all my cameras work, it'd always say rear camera failure. That was just probably like an error code. He's got rid of that, so that hasn't come back ever. So I'm happy about that. The nice thing is, guys, whenever I get in my car now in the morning, I don't hear that gong, like, you know, something's wrong. Everything's fine. So yeah, seats are fixed, turbo's fixed, windows are fixed, the rear camera issue's fixed, and now it's just that front left headlight. So if any of you guys have got a spare LED adaptive headlight going for sale, let me know. Or if you know anyone who's selling any, or a company who, actually, if anyone knows a company who restores these headlights or refurbishes them, that's what I really want to do. So yeah, please let me know. But drums roll, guys. So the bill for all of that, and don't forget, it's mostly labour. You know, he probably cost him £1 a wire for each of the seats. The grease, what, probably £1. The coding is free because he's got the machine already, and that wire, or that vacuum tube to sort out the turbo and the pressure, that was only £12.95. So at max, probably £20 in parts, and the rest was labour and time and how long it took to do it. So my total bill is £676. Yeah, £676. Do you know what? I don't think that's that bad. I knew. I budgeted in my head around £700. Good guess, really. To fix the 2 seats, to fix the camera, the windows, but also that turbo. I budgeted about 700, and the bill came in at 676. And I don't know if you've seen my video before this. About 2 weeks ago, I had to get an oil service done on this and some other checks, like a quick overhaul, and that cost me £233. And before I bought this car, guys, I said if I have to spend any money on it, because I bought it at such a good price and it's such a high spec car, I don't mind spending up to £1,000 to get this to where I want it to be. Albeit I've still got to fix the front left headlight, but everything else is now fixed. It is sweet. But I'm on a motorway. I've got real power under my throttle. Before, I just wasn't too sure what's wrong with this car, but it was definitely that vacuum tube. So yeah, I'm really happy, guys. And wow, it's getting really dark now. But yeah, that was just a quick video to just talk about some maintenance, some money that I've spent on the 6 Series. They are lovely cars, but when things go wrong, they can go dramatically wrong. Even worse than what I have. I know some guys who spent a lot more than I have. I'm glad I've come in at £1,000 to get these issues fixed. So yeah, I'm really happy. Obviously, this is my new car, so there probably will be more maintenance that will be needed. So I will do videos on those. I will upload it and share it with you guys. So if any of you guys got 6 Series, you probably know which issues to look at because I've probably been through it. But that is the end of the video, guys, and I hope you found it informative. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Do hit the bell notification button so you can be notified for my new videos. Smash the like button if you did like it. It does really help me. And don't forget to follow me at Bobby Drives. But keep safe, and we'll see you in the next video.